Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. We're doing something a little different today on the channel because we're going to be talking about Tomb Raider. Now, we are decidedly a fighting game channel around here, but I was given the opportunity to play Tomb Raider at Summer Game Fest, some hands-on gameplay, and I couldn't turn it down. I love Tomb Raider. I'm basically the right age for Lara Croft to hit really hard for me back during the PlayStation 1 days, let's put it that way. And I know some people are on the table one way or the other, so I'll just put it out there. I'm a big fan of the Survivor games. Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider are fantastic, in my opinion. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, take it or leave it. And for those wondering, there's a lot of Survivor-era Lara Croft here. It's got the DNA, not the least of which is the climbing pick, the climbing axe, still very much a thing, now just part of the DNA of the Tomb Raider. For puzzles, exploration, even sometimes in combat. So now a lot of the footage you're seeing here is B-roll provided me by Amazon. No direct gameplay capture was allowed, but hopefully this is nice 4K footage. You can believe me when I say this game looks stunning. I'm allowed to show a little bit off-camera footage, and we will a little later in the video, but now just to talk some of my thoughts about the game itself. So in terms of how she plays, how she comes off, this is going back to, Tomb Raider 1. This is Hollywood superhero era Lara Croft. But it's clear that all the Survivor games happened, but now this is like her very self-serious, self-confident version of herself. Clear enough when you get into combat, she's very acrobatic. She wields dual pistols with infinite ammo, by the way. So we're back to superhero era Lara, but with that with the more modern sensibilities of the Survivor games in terms of like puzzle design, environment exploring. Environment exploring is a huge part of the demo we played. There's tons of secrets. Even after I beat the demo, I came back. I found so many things I didn't know were there. Even in a relatively, I guess you could argue, smaller area, it's still dense and jam-packed with secrets. So if you like just exploring the scenery, seeing what you can get, this game will definitely reward you for it, and very well. Like the first major puzzle is getting these cogs, floating them down waterfalls, floating through the river, and having them to attach to each other so you can rotate a pillar. And you have to understand, seeing the environment, understanding what to look for. You got to use your noggin, I guess is the best way to say it. Also, me and not just myself, apparently a lot of people, this game is not as hand-holdy as some other entries in the series. A lot of the environmental cues were subtle enough that a lot of us missed it, to be real, and had to be kind of pointed in the right direction by the staff on site, which now, after I understood, everything made a lot more sense, and then I knew that I had to look for certain environment tells, as there's not just monsters amount of yellow paint like video game logic 101, right? But basically lots of exploration, and you have to be good at it too. So I like that. And when it comes to exploration, certain rare items you can get are things like that will give you talent points. Yes, there is talent points, there is skills, there is crafting. The full extent of which I was not made available in the limited demo that we have, but I know it's all there. So again, some DNA from the Survivor games. As for combat, hey, yeah, this is dual wielding pistols Lara, right? Infinite ammo, all sorts of dodges. She can flip dodge or dodge while zoomed in for more of a strafe dodge. She also has a dodge that's a built-in bullet time effect. You're seeing this here. So this is not me applying slow-mo. So when you hit the ability, you will flip backwards into slow-mo. And when this happens, you can shoot more, easily target your enemies. Also, it automatically reloads your gun while you do it. So for Guilty Gear fans, a little bit like Happy Chaos, a little bit actually. So in combat, Lara is hyper mobile. In fact, specifically, she has multiple jumps. The way you jump is also context sensitive in basically which direction you're facing when you jump. It's in the most recent trailer, but more times you jump in a row, you can also get different kinds of jumps. Again, this is superhero era Lara Croft. This isn't demure, shaking in the cold. She is a badass and she knows it. And as for combat, while I didn't get to see which weapons, there is definitely slots for multiple equipable weapons. So I imagine it'll be a good variety of destruction you can wield towards your foes. The playable demo though was pistols only. And hey, you're seeing the footage, I don't gotta tell you, but yeah, the game looks beautiful. The environments are just dense and gorgeous, lots to look at, lots to see. Lara herself doesn't look too bad either. So if you're into the whole visual experience, you'll find yourself well served, to say the least. Now, one thing to note, yes, Legacy of Atlantis is effectively Tomb Raider 1, if you will. And this is effectively a remake of the older games in the franchise, but it's not exactly a one-to-one. There's a lot more going on. We got new narrative and story and lore. We got new cinematics, new explorable areas, more secrets, more explorable areas, enhanced combat, like newer combat, right? New tombs to raid, if you will. So effectively consider this like the definitive version of the game. If you played Tomb Raider 1 back in the day, it's a chance to relive the adventure, albeit though with, new perspective, new surprises. And if you're a newcomer, this is basically the best starting point possible for Lara Croft and Tomb Raider. Now, I did mention I'm allowed to show a little bit of off-camera footage. So we had a lot of puzzle solving, we had some basic combat, but one of the best moments I had, you can see a little bit here in the trailer, is during a big T-Rex chase scene. And that was really, really fun. So basically do a combat encounter with the raptors. And by the way, these guys are pretty tough. Like, I may be a little bit older, right? But like, I'm a fighting game player. My reactions are on deck, and these guys will make you work for it, basically is what I'm saying. But yeah, you do the encounter, then all of a sudden, whoops, T-Rex. And then we go into like a giant, like cinematic chase scene. Lots of stuff, lots of environmental stuff going on you have to like avoid, just like say the Survivor games. And after doing, some combat, some logic, puzzle solving, all that, a shot of adrenaline. It was really cool. Because you can feel a little tense. This dude's a big dude. Like, there's a fear factor to it. Even has that, like, Crash Bandicoot chase angle, if you will. Can't show you much more of that because there's restrictions on the footage. But yeah, you get the idea, right? So, just from the purely cinematic presentation, everything is hitting pretty hard on this game. So basically, if you are a fan, I don't really need to do much selling. Like, you will have fun with this game. Of all the games I played at Summer Game Fest, this put some of the biggest smiles on my face. Other than the time I felt a little down because I did not notice some of the environmental stuff until it was pointed out to me, but even that is good. Because I didn't know I had to actually look, right? When's the last time a game actually made you earn looking at the environment? So now that I know, and now that I actually am invested in looking, I consider that a positive, not a negative, even though I got lost a little bit. As for some of the environmental stuff you should pay attention to, apparently that will be in the tutorial, which we did not have access to, so there is that. So yeah, again, unless you absolutely hated the Survivor games, I think there's something here for every kind of Tomb Raider fan. But it is clear this is an evolution from the gameplay from the Survivor era games. Myself, I love those games, although Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it's alright. But Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, both fantastic. Otherwise, this is superhero, badass Lara, and she's back in all her glory. I do want to mention here before we close out, it'll be on all the things you would expect, but it will be on Switch 2. So yeah, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, but I know people are very hungry for Switch 2 games, so hey, this is a game on Switch 2. Coming out February 12th, 2027, and you can get it a little bit early if you pre-order the Deluxe or Collector's Edition. But yeah, it was a pleasure and an honor to play the game early. I like other games besides fighting games, so it was really nice, and hope you enjoyed the video. But that said, my friends, that's it for me and that's it for the video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.